It's a nightmare having so many digital photos that you can't enjoy your favorite memories. I have 4 digital organizing tips to help you wake up from that nightmare today on Tuesday Tech Training. Hi, I'm Jennifer Stewart, digital productivity trainer and owner of Gateway Productivity. Today we're going to talk about some general tips in photo organizing. In our last video, we talked more about having a plan for your digital organizing and where to find your photos and what to do with them after that. So if you missed that video, go back and look for how to organize your digital photos. Now we'll talk about some tips that can help you along the way, help you save time and be more productive in your photo organizing. Our first tip is to delete bad photos before you download them. And that really is across the board. Delete bad photos as you go. If you are at a theme park and you're standing in line, delete the bad photos. Go to yesterday's photos, delete the things that you don't want to keep, get rid of any duplicates, all of those types of things. What this does is it saves you a ton of time when you do decide to download these, whether you're downloading them to your cloud, which we'll talk about in a minute, or to your computer. Whatever you're doing, this can help you in the long run. It also can help you save space if you pay for space to save your photos in a cloud. Our second tip is to download frequently and clear space. What this means is set a specific time that you're going to download your photos or to remove them from wherever you're storing them. Let's say you take them on your phone and you don't have a lot of room on your phone. Set a specific time that you're going to take those photos and download them to your computer or download them to a hard drive. However it is that you do this in your own home, make sure that you have a plan for it. What I like to do is when I'm on vacation, I will plan a little bit of time, usually give myself a whole extra day at the end of the trip to calm down from after the trip, get ready for what's coming up, and then also to download my pictures and make sure that I now have more space on my phone or my digital camera so that the next event or the next vacation I go to, I don't have to worry about if there's space. Another thing you can do for clearing space is to maybe once a month put something on your calendar that is time for you to go through. It's always fun to go through your old photos, and it's also very beneficial because you can start to weed out the things that at the time you didn't think you wanted to get rid of, but maybe you could let go of. Because the less photos you have to deal with, especially digital photos, the more you can enjoy the ones you have and not get overwhelmed all the time. Our third tip is to back up your photos. And I know I said this in the previous video, and we'll have a whole video just about backups and all the details of all the different options. But I always like to say it because this is huge. This is your memory insurance. Think of it that way. We pay for auto insurance, we pay for home insurance, renter's insurance, all those different types of insurance. This is memory insurance when you spend time figuring out how you're going to back up your photos. And as you can see here, there's all different types of options. There's cloud options, which again, we'll go into more detail at the end of this month in our 4th video in the series. But there's cloud options, and there are on your computer options, and there are hard drive options, which are physical backups. There are companies that you can pay to back up everything on your computer. There's all kinds of options. So this is a huge thing to think about. How am I going to back up my photos? So that's our third tip today. Our 4th tip today is to use your photos. I know that seems really simple, but in this day and age of almost all digital photos, hardly anybody does anything with their photos anymore. You can turn them into canvases like you see on the left-hand side. That's a canvas of a picture that I took in Maine. You can print out your photos. You can see this on the right-hand side. I know that that seems old school, but there are still photo albums. You can still have fun putting your photos in albums. You just choose the best ones to print and put those in your own album. Or you can see on the bottom, there are all types of companies out there where you can make a photo book, which is just like a photo album, but it's printed on the page instead of you having to take pictures in and out of it. So there's lots of options. You can make calendars and mugs and gifts for people. There are so many options make sure that you're using your photos. And if you can follow those other tips, especially numbers 1 and 2 that we talked about, to download frequently, delete the bad ones as you go, it will save you time and it will save you energy digging through all the photos if you've just gotten down to the best ones at that point. And you can pick those to do future projects with. Also, slideshows for events are another fun way to use your photos. Just keep that in mind as you're taking your photos on your vacation, what types of things you might want to do. Maybe you don't invest as much in souvenirs and you can instead come home and make a photo album or a photo book out of your photos at the end of the trip. As an example, my husband and I just went on a trip and we decided not to buy any souvenirs so that we could specifically print out several of those canvases and put them around our house so we can enjoy those photos every day as we walk around. I know we went through a lot of information very quickly, so here's a reminder of what those tips were. Number 1, delete bad photos as you go, and also before you download. So if you can't do it as you go, be sure to delete those before you spend time doing a download of things that you don't even want. Number 2 was download frequently and clear space. As a reminder, that means to set a time to download your photos, either after an event or during a vacation if you have some downtime. I like to do this by putting them on Facebook, and that helps me weed out the things that are the best, and then I can clean out and clear some space while I'm on vacation, and it helps me enjoy the pictures that I took that day. Or you might have to set a time aside after an event or a vacation, and that's fine too. But just be sure to add that to your calendar so that you know when you're going to go through these photos and they just don't build up and take up space and never get used again. Number 3 was to back up your photos and treat this like memory insurance. And there's lots of options out there. In our 4th video in the series, we'll go into detail about options for backups. And lastly, we talked about being sure to use your photos. And this can mean whatever you'd like. It could mean a slideshow, a photo album, a photo book that gets printed from a company, whatever makes you happy. It could be calendars and mugs and things for family, for gifts. Just be sure to use those favorite photos. Go back and enjoy them instead of letting them sit after taking thousands and thousands of them. Have you had a light bulb moment from this training? If so, please leave me a comment below, or if you have any questions, feel free to leave those below as well. And if you really like this and you want to make sure that you receive information about videos in the future, click on the subscribe button. It's in red below this video. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.